Okay. Hi there. We are still sheltering in place. So I'm here with another video of how to do a project on your own. And today I've chosen clothing. And even though we're sheltering, I mean, a lot of places are opening up. I think we're at a point though where it's not just going to be totally normal and you're still going to be spending a lot of time in your house. So this is a great time to do a project like this. We're in a change of season right now as we get into warmer months. You're probably also just wearing a lot of different clothes. So this is a great time to do a project like your closet. So I'm going to start off by just showing you an example of how we do closets. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. So let me just, sorry. Okay, let's get that up and running. Okay, so I guess the first thing I want to say is when we do a closet, and I'm going to go through all these pictures, one of the things that we do is we pull everything out. Like you can't just like go through one item at a time to clean out your closet because it makes the decision process that much harder. Do I want this? It's really hard to say. So we definitely pull everything out, but for those of you who have read Marie Kondo, I don't just pull everything out haphazardly. There's sort of a process that we go through. So I'm just going to show you though what we do. So here's an example of, this is a very like small, not very deep reach-in closet. And when I say we took everything out, like this is this woman's shoes, this is this woman's boots. I don't have pictures of how the clothes that we pulled out looked, but like literally we separated, okay, her hung clothing, we sort of got all the long sleeve shirts together, the short sleeve shirts together, the pants, so that she could decide what she wanted in terms of, did she like it? Did it still fit her? Was it her style? All of those kinds of things. And when doing this, I encourage you to only hold on to clothes that you love and fit you now and make you feel good when you wear them, not because something is sentimental to you or something else like that. And I'll talk about sentimental clothing in a minute. Whoops, go back. Okay, so here's what we did with this woman's closet. I mean, first of all, the light was broken when I first started, so now we had gotten light in here. We definitely took advantage of her shelves. You can see we moved her shoes. Her handbags, like up here. We have these in just bins turned on their side. These were bins that she had. They're not very pretty, whatever, they're just plastic bins, but allows her to reach in and grab her purses. So that's just one example. We also used, these are called slimline hangers, which are those thinner hangers, to just make it much easier. You can get more in your closet. And this woman had a lot of clothes. She got rid of a lot of clothes, but she had a lot of clothes. So this allowed her to have more space with the thinner hangers. Here's another example of a closet that we did. And this is what I mean by taking everything out. She had like this shoe thing down here that was totally not functional and just a bunch of stuff. She wasn't taking full advantage of her closet. And this is a big closet. It's a big reaching closet. So here's what we did. Like I said, taking everything out, looking at everything. This is probably a pile of dresses. That looks like over sweaters and stuff. Probably back here, I have blouses. Just like I said, different categories that we took out and made piles. And then we just went through each pile at a time. Okay, this is that same closet after. So as you can see, like just having her shoes on the floor, and if she wanted to get a shoe rack, like in this case, I didn't have a better shoe rack. You can get shoe rack risers and things like that. So she could have taken advantage more of the space on the floor, but to have two levels, but we just put them on the floor and then we use this space above. I don't think we ended up leaving it that way. She was supposed to order like a shoe rack for under here, to go under here to take advantage of the space under her short hang. The other thing we did in this closet, which I do in a lot of closets, is we moved a lot of stuff into bins and out of the way. So things like summer hats, she's not wearing that much. Bathing suits is another example of things that we put up here. This was like t-shirts that she only wore to like games and things like that, sports t-shirts. up here was like pantyhose and stuff that she's not wearing that often. So this is an example of like getting this stuff out of the way makes more room for your prime real estate of clothing. One thing I want to say, she had these pants things that supposedly save space. I think these are super awkward to use. I'll show you at the end a different kind of hanger I like for hanging pants. It takes up more space, but I just think these are so hard to use. I prefer to hang pants long than to have them folded over one of these multi-hangers. They just are really hard to use. Okay, this is another example of a closet, again, that we did. Like, okay, you see the mess, like, and random things in this closet, like books, and I don't know why this milk was on the floor, but just like things like that. So then when we clean it up, one of the things, this again, like I put stuff up here that's not frequently used. We went through, we always color code everything. I don't expect clients to keep things color coded, but we separate things by type and by color. And using these shelves and not having a ton of stuff on your shelves, like just small stacks. If your stacks are so huge, it's really hard to get to what's on top from what's on the bottom. You make a big fat mess. But if you have just 2 or 3 pairs of jeans stacked, it's not that hard. And then using baskets to pull down smaller things up here that you want to have access to. So just, I use baskets a lot in closets, and I'll again show you some more in a minute. Here's another example in this closet. Like, again, stuff was just shoved everywhere, and she had stuff in a lot of dry cleaning bags. And I get that you want to protect your clothing, but those dry cleaning bags just get in your way. They make it hard to see stuff. They're just, like you can see, they're sort of interfering with this lower rack down here. So in this one, here's another example how her stuff was shoved on her shelf. And this is what I mean, having smaller stacks so you don't end up like this. The other thing that we did was that we end up putting her leggings, which are really soft and smushy, into a drawer, which I'll show you how we folded those. I tend to fold those in thirds and have them like a file drawer, and that's a really good way to have your leggings. So here's what it looked like after. As you can see, we ended up moving a lot of her stuff to hangers. We just have jeans, which are really easy to keep on a shelf and folded. And like you can see, I didn't have stacks that large. These are some of her bulkier sweaters, only a couple stacked. I like handbags on their sides like this, so you can easily grab one that you want out. She has tote bags. She uses a lot of tote bags down here. So we had those, and you can sort of see the remnants of, like, this was all jackets now. And this is, I think, all long sleeve blouses. This is short sleeve blouses. So again, that categorization is really going to help you to keep your closet the way that, once you go through this process, the way you intended. Okay, in the drawers, I will a lot of times use these drawer organizers. These are from Container Store. This is just one open one. This is a split one. They're just called, I mean, I think they're like linen drawer organizers or something like that. But again, when things are like on their sides in this way, you can see how it's easy to see what different ones, how many black bras she has, or I think these might be camis, how many white, whatever. So we color coded. Her underwear just went in here, just sort of messy, but easy to put away, and then bras and things like that. And then this is what I mean about leggings. So this is an overhead view of how we did her leggings. And all I did was, again, if you're a Marie Kondo fan and you've seen her folding method, like, it's really takes a lot of time. So typically what I'll do is I'll just fold them as I would normally in half and then in thirds so that they stand up, and this is how they are. Now, the downside of having your clothes like this, when you do your laundry, you have to fold it this way in order to get it back in here. But it allows you to see what's here versus digging around in your drawer, which creates a big mess. And I will say this drawer is a little crowded. Like, she wanted all of her leggings in here, and I think these are shorts. It was a little crowded, but this was, given our space and the amount of stuff she wanted to keep, this was how we had it in here. So then here's just one more example. This is a guy's closet. You can see his boxers. These were different kinds of underwear. And then I just used clear plastic bins because I didn't have the closet drawer organizers. But as you can see, labeling things folded like this makes it super easy to see. Here's one more example of those drawer organizers that I really like, again, in a lingerie drawer. She has shapewear in here, underwear, things like that. This woman had a lot more of this kind of stuff. Okay, this is now an example of t-shirts, which is definitely my favorite thing to fold this way. As you can imagine, like graphic tees, like you don't know what, like you're gonna be digging around looking for that one t-shirt that you want. So these allow you to really see, okay, what is this one? And again, we color code, doesn't necessarily have to stay like that, but you can see what t-shirt you're going for when they're folded this way. And same things for t-shirts. Again, I don't make them, like I don't spend a ton of time folding them. I fold them how I normally would, sleeves in, fold the top in, and then fold it one more time to get them to stack like this. Okay, finally, this last closet, you can see, start off, there was just a lot of random stuff. She tried to get bins, things were just really in disarray. She had a ton of dry cleaning bags. We got rid of all of those. If you want to protect some of your clothing, there are clear garment bags and things, or you can use dry cleaning bags for some of your nicer stuff, but to have everything in dry cleaning bags, it's just impossible to see what it is. It's just in the way, you can't tell what it is. So to do this, we got rid of all of those, and this closet became much more functional. Put her shoes over here on these shelves. We oftentimes have to move shelves, if you have adjustable shelves, up and down to make the spacing between them much easier to deal with. And then here's again those purses and bags on their side, and here's more like clutches and things like that that like are just, you know, can stand up, but they need to be in something. And then they'll use stuff in just these clear bins up top. And okay, so this last one, or I have two more, but this last one is the example of how I was talking about hanging pants. I really like these pants hangers that are open on one end. It makes it super, if you're gonna fold your pants over and not hang them long, this makes it super easy to get your pants off of here and put them back on. I just think this is a really easy and good solution. And then finally, I said before, different kinds of containers that I use on shelves. When this one, these are stacked a little high, I will say, for these shelves. Again, this client, this is what she wanted. She wasn't willing to get rid of more, and I only had so many places to put her stuff. So this is going to be hard to operate, but it's way better than it was. And then I use baskets on some of these shelves, because what the baskets allowed me to do, they acted like drawers. I could fold in that triple fold method. I think there ended up being one of t-shirts, I don't have a picture of this, and one of long sleeve t-shirts. Like I don't remember the different categories, but by having these baskets, it basically converted these shelves, because she didn't have drawers, into drawers. So that is my recommendations for how to go about doing your closet. So like I said, pulling everything out, and then when you go to put it back in, using some of these tools and tricks that I just gave you. All these products that are in here are from Container Store. If you look at their closet section of organizer or containers, you can see a lot of those. In closets and shelves, like a lot of people like more decorative things to look at, but on that top shelf that's just wasted space, like I think it's perfectly fine to have clear bins, like I said, for things like bathing suits you don't wear that often, things that you only take on trips, other kinds of things like that. So that's what I would suggest for that. So, you know, go for your closet, take it all out, and it's going to take time, but it's going to save you so much time and money in the long run, because you'll be more aware of what you have, and also looking for what to wear in the morning. It's going to be much easier to see your clothing and things like that. So enjoy the shelter in place project of doing your closet. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. You can find me on my website, moretimeforyou.net. And I hope you enjoy the content that we're giving out. Thanks so much.